everyone. We want to welcome you to this year's very special and very unique Kent Circle Christmas tree lighting for 2020. We're delighted that you're tuning in to be here with us. We wish you could be with us in person, and we very much look forward to you being with us again next year. You know, this tradition all began when my brother Ringo had the idea that there should be a Christmas tree for the whole city right here in Gloucester, and that was almost 25 years ago. And for about 23 years, we've been getting a Christmas tree from the people, or 20 years, I'm sorry, from the people of Shelburne, Nova Scotia. So we reached out to them this year to ask, do you want to keep this tradition alive? And the answer was a hearty, yes we do. And so the people of Shelburne, including the DPW and a gentleman named Will, who works there for the DPW, Will Baxter, reached out and was able to get the tree donated once again by the Harris Tree Farm. And the Harris family last year donated the tree in memory of patriarch Mike Harris, and they too wanted to continue this tradition. So we had the tree from the Harris Tree Farm. We had it wrapped up and processed by the DPW department in our sister city of Shelburne, Nova Scotia. But there was still a big problem. How do you get the tree here? Well, my brother Ringo couldn't cross the border the way that he usually does, but he had an idea. As we all know, as a result of an explosion that occurred in the early 1900s in Halifax, and the people of Boston responded to help, ever since then, the people of Halifax have given a Christmas tree to the people of Boston in recognition of their friendship and support. Ringo's idea was maybe the two trees could travel the same path, and they did. We reached out to our good friends at the Canadian Consulate in Boston, and Consul David Aylward, in probably his last official act, because he wrapped up his tour of duty just a couple of days ago, and Lisa Carrier, they went to work. And they said, we're going to make this happen. And they did. So with a lot of help from the Canadian Consulate and the province of Nova Scotia and the people of Shelburne, Nova Scotia, here we are standing ready to light this Christmas tree in a little bit different way than we normally would. It's important to understand that the Christmas tree came on the same ship that the Boston to Halifax or Halifax to Boston tree came. They were right next to each other. They were shipped from the port of Halifax, and then they arrived in Portland, and Ringo and his team went to get the tree and brought it here. Now you can see it here at Kent Circle. Now, there were a lot of steps in between, and this was like one big relay race. The tree had to be cut down in Shelburne. It had to be trucked to the port of Halifax. It had to go by ship to the port of Portland, and then it had to come here by truck. But all of those pieces came into place, and that is a true symbol of the friendship that exists across the border, and that's why it's so important that we once again carry on this tradition of lighting the Kent Circle Christmas tree. Now, we do have a few people to say thank you to, because this was an amazing effort. It always is a challenge. This year, a particularly unique challenge. And so we want to thank the government of the province of Nova Scotia. We want to thank the people of Shelburne, Nova Scotia, particularly Will Butler, and I mispronounced that a little while ago, and his crew at the DPW. We want to thank our friends at the Harris Tree Farm, the Harris Family Tree Farm. We want to thank Corey Mood of Mood Transport, who brought the tree from Shelburne, Nova Scotia to Halifax, Nova Scotia, so it could be placed on board the ship. The ship was provided by I'm Skip Liner Service at the Halifax and Portland terminals. They loaded it and unloaded it, and they loaded it and unloaded it from the container ship Afava. Great Eastern Marine Service stood the tree up once it was here, and Joe Novello, Nick Kukuru, and Nick DeCoste went with Ringo to Portland to be able to go get the tree, and they did a wonderful job. Once the tree was here, we had some very long-time volunteers, Joanne Marks and Pat Cusick, who joined with the team to help decorate the tree. And of course, all of the members of the Tar family, including Elizabeth and Emily and Jamie and Mike, pitched in as well to be able to help us out once again this year. It's a wonderful family tradition, and we so much enjoy sharing it with you. So in addition to that, we want to thank some of our financial supporters. We want to thank the Cape Ann Savings Bank for their financial support. Also, Compass Realty for their financial support. And of course, the City of Gloucester for the use of this wonderful circle where everyone can enjoy this holiday decoration. And so we also, very lastly, wanted to thank the good folks at Topsfield Fair, because you see there's another part to this tradition, and that part is that in exchange for the Christmas tree, we give funds so that trees can be planted permanently along the roadways in Shelburne, Nova Scotia as a symbol of the friendship between our two communities. And speaking of that friendship, it's now time to welcome the Mayor of Gloucester, Mayor Safathia Romeo Taken,